What's the worst part of depression? The apathy. The complete lack of interest in doing anything you used to thoroughly enjoy. My friend has had signs of depression for a little over a year now. We used to go thrifting together and buy each other an old book to read every month, then donate it back to a different store the next month on our next outing. She's been through a breakup during this time and her mom got COVID. She recovered, so I understand the withdrawal, but she acts like nothing is wrong and I don't know what to do anymore. She's cut off a few friends, so I try not to push her for fear of being cut off too, but I want her to get the help she needs. The energy it takes trying to look and act like you're not. It is just so freaking hard to break out of that cycle because depressed people often learn to not show it to everyone else. Some time ago, I asked a friend who was depressed for a very long time but never showed any clues how it felt to him in retrospective. He said to me, imagine using a grey filter on your eyes, ears and nose. The sun looked less yellow, the sky less blue, the food tasted less good, the singing of the birds quieter, positive thoughts replaced by indifference. Everything was toned down for a very long time, to be honest. That felt really scary to me. Emptiness. Imagining yourself doing things that would make you happy / thinking about how you have in fact done things that made you happy in the past, but not knowing how you would achieve even the first step to get there now. For me it was feeling empty. I was depressed for a few years in my early 20s. I didn't feel sad all the time, I sort of felt nothing, like I was putting on some kind of front when I was with other people. All of my emotions felt fake. Faking happiness, faking sadness, anger, fear. It was like, this is how I'm supposed to feel in this situation, but I don't, so I have to pretend I wanted to feel these emotions, even sadness, but I just couldn't. It took me a few years and some help to get to where I want to be. When I feel sad now, it feels real and happiness feels joyful. Feeling nothing is draining. Everyone expects you to act like you're fine. Not having a reason to be depressed. You have such a good life, how can you be depressed? Dude, I know. It's almost like it's an illness. The cycle of not getting anything done and then getting mad at yourself you didn't get things done and then not having the motivation to get things done, BC you're mad at yourself. All the wasted time. For me it's not finding music pleasing or stuff that usually makes me happy. The look in your loved one's eyes when they feel like nothing they can do can help you, that despite all the thoughtfulness, love, and caring support, you say you're still feeling like you're slowly drowning in shallow water. That the thing that you used to enjoy don't bring joy anymore. I like cooking and usually get hyped when I get to cook, but now I rarely cook because of stupid depression, and I barely get the motivation to get out of bed and do stuff. Curse this shit. And also pretending emotions. Every hour of every day, I have to pretend to be happy and feel emotions. You should tell someone about how you feel. It's easier said than done. Every day I just want to be happy and everything's fixed, but I know that'll never happen because miracles don't true. There are steps to get better, but wish it didn't. Yay, I'm getting mental health, I'll be fine. Oof, sorry for making it so long, I just needed to vent a little is all. Victory hand. People asking what's wrong? And not understanding how the answer can be nothing, and that's the problem, I don't know what's wrong. This. And guilt tripping yourself over it in your head. The feeling that you're a stranger in your own skin. If you know the feeling of being irritated beyond comparison by someone. And that someone is you yourself. Every minute, second and moment hating everything you do and think. Quite the ride, luckily it comes in episodes for me. Good luck for those who are dealing with this on a daily basis. I go on cycles of hating it, hating myself, then not giving a fuck, then not giving a fuck yields toxically positive results. Then I start giving a fuck, and then I start hating it again because the end result of every cycle is something I would have cared about falling through and only regretting it long after it's gone. Then the cycle continues. Waking up in the morning. That semblance of happiness you can find in your dreams dissipates and you're left with nothing. convincing yourself you aren't. It's like a blanket. Like a really heavy one. It's not comfortable, but when you're under it you just get used to it. Then that's what comfortable feels like, and that's your new normal. So when the blanket come off a little, it feels so alien and uncomfortable that you kind of want to get comfy again. I had depression issues from adolescence through the end of my 20s, always wanting to be left alone, and stayed in my room. I'm in my 30s now with no friends and no idea how to make any. Waking up and nothing's changed. I've always thought depression feels like being forced to constantly stare at a blank page. You can't register any emotion from it, and after a while everything looks and feels blank, and your personality and mind also mirrors that of a blank page, and on it goes. Telling yourself that it's not real and that you're just faking it for this reason, or that when it's very much real. When you almost get out of it and then something happens, doesn't need to be big, just a negative thing, and you're straight back in deep shit. One part of you keeps telling yourself, you'll change bad/toxic habits. But you keep doing them. Feeling like nobody cares, regardless of if I do well or poorly, about me. The suicidal ideation, it really wears you down, thinking about killing yourself all the time. You don't plan, you don't care, you don't do anything, cause the whole time you're thinking I won't be here much longer. Being too depressed to do anything about it. Losing your personality. I'm sure it's already been mentioned. I think I used to be funny, and sometimes kind of a smarmy know-it-all, at least that's what people have told me. I don't remember anything from high school or before that. I barely remember college, and I'm only 24. I've lost so much of myself. The only people I talk to now are my brother and a couple people I don't really know well online, and we don't talk about this kind of stuff. Hard to be a person without a personality. Everyone says there's a rock bottom that you can only go up from, but as far as I've experienced, it just keeps going down infinitely. I'm on bupropion right now, and it seems to stabilize my mood and enables me enjoy some things like music again, which I think is where the last bit of my personality remains. I was just scrolling through Reddit trying to kill some time, and this thread title just kinda hit me where I didn't expect it to. From the experience of some friends of mine, it seems to be that for some, things will not improve within the foreseeable future. Not just in a pessimistic way, more that they've been depressed so long, and tried various treatments, and none seemed to really help. That you can't maintain friendships, cause they all take your downs way too personal and think you are mad at them, or they just don't understand that you don't want to leave the house and end up getting away from you. The fact that you're right. The world is a brutal place, life is meaningless, and people are oblivious. I don't have a but for this, either. That's just the way it is. I almost keep going out of ghoulish fascination. How it robs you of your ability to function while providing no external visual clues that shitbirds in life will accept that you are unwell. How it often comes packaged with anhedonia, making you literally, physically, chemically, electrically incapable of feeling positive things. How not everyone has experienced it. So you have the Richie whose worst psychic pain ever was I dropped my ice cream on the ground and was kinda bummed out for the 10 minutes it took us to replace it, standing next to the ambulatory void-mouthed nihil of a person who is fully capable of suffering but not capable of relief or pleasure, whose worst psychic pain started at a shout in childhood, then doubled in volume every day that passed since then without fail, so that every moment is the worst moment of their life so far. How you can expect to get advice from these people who do not truly know what depression is, or who do but are exploiting you so they cannot allow you to know that they see your pain. The advice is always trite, and useless, and insulting. How much of depression isn't actually mental illness, but rather a symptom of having seen true things and being unable to go back into Plato's cave? I know that the natural world is being destroyed and future time is being burned down by the 8 conglomerates that own the earth so that their CEOs can have a slightly larger dragon horde of wealth before the end, that war and rape and genocide and torture are all things that this world is built on, but, hey, Let me take this prescribed bad pill and go to talk therapy about it. The world is profoundly sick, and I am not adapted to it, and I have seen the gears which make it turn and the victims crushed between those gears. But I'm the problem because I can't function knowing life is horror, not the other way around, no. The Dementors can't get anything done. So I'm sad and useless, absolute bullshit. Disappointing the people around me. How unjustifiably cruel it is. How it deprives of your dignity to a point where you can't wash up or brush your teeth. The deep emptiness that makes you numb to love. The concerned look of loved ones, the helplessness. In my experience, feelings of sadness or worthlessness are not always the worst parts of depression. It's the inability to consistently complete simple standard hygienic tasks such as showering, brushing your teeth, brushing your hair, or even changing your clothes. Again, this is all related to the loss of innate motivation. Sometimes I feel like my life is moving in slow motion and I can't even get the motivation to wake up and roll out of bed. I've been suffering from depression for 8 years now. Sometimes it seems like there's no end in sight. Sometimes I can't even cry because it's too much energy for me. I wouldn't wish this upon my worst enemy.